Your coworker has a full sleeve. Your cousin just got matching ink with her sister. Half your feed is tiny minimalist tattoos on wrists and ankles. And then there's you, or someone you know, who's never gotten one. Not against it, not scared of needles necessarily, just never did it. And somehow that decision gets read as boring, uptight, or not creative enough. Here's the twist. Not getting a tattoo is rarely about a lack of imagination. Survey data on tattoo prevalence consistently shows that even in cultures where tattoos are widely accepted, a majority of adults still don't have one. This isn't a fringe choice, it's a common one with real psychology behind it.
The first driver is self-concept clarity, how stable and well-defined your sense of self already feels to you. Some people feel like their identity is something they carry inside, not something they need to display. Think of the friend who just knows who they are. They don't need a symbol to prove it, the way someone might not need to redecorate a room they already love. But here's the nuance. This can tip into rigidity too. Sometimes I don't need to mark anything is quiet confidence, and sometimes it's discomfort with change itself, a resistance to anything that feels permanent or new. Which leads to the second driver, affective forecasting errors, or in plainer terms, how bad we are at predicting our future feelings. A lot of non-tattooed people aren't afraid of the tattoo itself. They're afraid of who they'll be in 15 years and whether that person will still like it. It's the same instinct that makes you hesitate before painting a wall a bold color. Will future you regret this? Research on affective forecasting shows people tend to overestimate how much future regret will sting. But this hesitation isn't always overcautious. Sometimes it's genuine self-awareness about how much a person's tastes actually do shift over time.
The third driver is self-monitoring, how closely someone tracks and adjusts their behavior based on social context. High self-monitors are hyper-aware of how they'll be perceived across different rooms, the office, the family dinner, the job interview. Skipping a tattoo can be a way of keeping every version of themselves interchangeable, like keeping your car in neutral color so it fits every parking lot. But this isn't just people-pleasing. For some, it's practical foresight about careers or environments where they genuinely want maximum flexibility. The fourth driver is need for uniqueness, except here it runs backwards. In a world where tattoos have become mainstream and expected, not getting one can itself be the nonconformist move. If everyone around you is inked, staying blank is its own quiet rebellion. But again, it's not always rebellion. Sometimes it really is just indifference. Not every choice needs a deeper motive. And here's the quieter, rarely discussed layer underneath all of this. We've built a culture where self-expression is assumed to need a visible marker, a tattoo, a hairstyle, a bio full of hashtags, but identity doesn't actually require external proof. The most settled people aren't always the most decorated ones. Some of the strongest sense of self comes from people who never feel the need to display it to anyone, because it was never in question to begin with. So, whether someone skips tattoos out of clarity, caution, self-monitoring, or quiet defiance, it all traces back to the same root. Identity doesn't need to be worn to be real. Whatever side of this you're on, inked or bare-skinned, the real question was never, why don't they have one? It's whether you're making that choice consciously, authentically, and for yourself.